Students, now we have to go forward in the chapter 4 of accountancy, admission of a new partner. In earlier description, we have studied about new profit sharing, calculation of new profit sharing ratio. The next topic of yours is sacrificing ratio. You people are very well known about the fact that if a new person enters into any partnership firm, then he will be authorized to share the future profit, one, and to share the assets and liabilities of the firm in future. Two rights he will have. Then the rights are having assets and liabilities and having profit are delegated to the partner. If he gains these shares, then he also pays something that will compensate the old partners for their sacrifices. The question arises, the sacrifices are done by the old partners, then what will be the reimbursement, the remuneration or the reward for that sacrifice? And there may be one thing that newly entering partner can take his share from one partner or more than one partners. If it is second condition and the new partner is receiving his share from more than one partners, then sacrificing ratio will be calculated in that case. Why it should be calculated? It should be calculated due to the partners are sacrificing and the new partner will bring premium for goodwill for the compensation. Then what amount will go to any particular partner, that should be calculated, and if it is to be calculated, then sacrificing ratio is also to be calculated to decide their share in premium for goodwill. So you must be clear about this, that old partner surrender a part of their share in favor of newly admitting partner. If this happens towards more than one partner, the sacrificing ratio is to be calculated by the formula. Formula has been given in front of you. Sacrificing ratio is equal to old ratio minus new ratio. It means sacrificing ratio does not belong to new partner. It belongs to old partners only. If the partners old ratio has been given in the question and new ratio has been given in the question, then it is very easy to calculate sacrificing ratio by subtracting new ratio from old ratio. And the cases, if both has not been given, then while calculating new profit sharing ratio, I had given you 4 conditions. Those conditions must be applied here to find out the sacrifices of the partners, and if sacrifices you are able to draw, then you will be able to have the sacrificing ratio. In that condition, it will depend upon the content of the question given in front of you. So, students, I think you have got the whole knowledge of sacrificing ratio. What is it and why it is calculated, and what will be use of sacrificing ratio in accounting treatment. So, coming to the next point, we have to have the accounting treatment of goodwill brought by a new partner. as you know very well that new partner is very much expected to bring extra amount besides his share of capital in the firm. For what? Because the new partner will have his share of profit in future along with old partners. Why? Because he is contributing capital, he is agreed by the old partners to get him enter in the the firm, so he will share the profit in future, and the profit is the extra profit is earned or gained by any firm for its reputation, which is due on time and market share which the firms have. So the firm is continuing from last or past some years, and the firm has gained its reputation in the market. So, and that was due to the deed of the old partners. So old partners are eligible to get some amount for that sacrifice. So the goodwill is to be brought by new partner in this sense. If goodwill has been, now the conditions are, there are some conditions you have to follow while you have to make the accounting treatment of premium or goodwill. It is, there is first condition. First one condition is, if the new partner, yes, he is paying amount for premium for goodwill, but the amount is not paid to firm directly, it is paid to partners, old partners privately. I am emphasizing the point. If when amount of goodwill is paid privately to old partners, privately, the amount is not entering or not paid to the firm, then what entry will be passed? Then the firm has no concern with the amount, because the transaction of payment of goodwill is in between two parties, one new partner, another old partner. The firm has no hand in this transaction. So in the book of firm, no entry will be passed. So you must be very clear that if amount is paid privately to old partners, there will be no entry, there will no any entry be passed in the books of account of the firm. This is very clear. Next, if the newly admitting partner is bringing his share of goodwill in cash and he is not paying it to the partners directly, but the amount is paid to the firm. Count the condition. Condition is, amount is paid to the firm in form of premium for goodwill, and the partner, the newly admitting partner, is bringing it in cash. I think you have got the clue. The new partner is bringing the amount in cash and paying it to the firm, not to the partners privately. Then two entries will be passed for this transaction. Number one, for bringing cash in the firm, that is entry number one, bank account debit to premium for goodwill account. The amount, because debit what comes in, firm will debit bank, because in his bank account, the new partner will pay the amount. Debit what comes in? Bank account will be credited. So here the firm will debit bank account in its book, and because the item is premium for goodwill, so that will be credited. Then entry 1 will be bank account equal to premium for goodwill. Now the second entry will be for crediting the amount in the account that may be capital or current account of the partner, because it is due towards the old partners, because they are sacrificing, as you know very well. The amount will be credited in the capital or current account of the partner, and then second entry will also be passed along with the first entry, and that entry will be premium for goodwill account to old partners capital or current. So you must be very clear in this case. If the new partner is bringing goodwill in cash and paying it to the firm, then these two entries will be passed. Second point, in this case, if he is bringing the goodwill in cash and paying it to the firm, another clue is, and joining this in this clue, that the old partners are withdrawing the amount of capital, maybe withdrawing the amount of goodwill, maybe withdrawing the amount of goodwill in part or whole. Then another entry will be along with those two entries. If the firm is paying something to the old part, to anyone, then the bank account will be credited. And firm is going to pay to old partners. If the firm has received any amounting in the name of old partners, then the firm has credited old partners here, old partners capital or current account here. Vice versa, if the old partners are being paid by the firm, then the bank account will be credited, and old partners capital or current account will be debited. These two clues you can count along with or separately. This is your concern. How can you understand it? But I have explained it very clearly, and if you have any doubt, then see once more and count it like I am giving you. Third point is there. In this connection, third point is there. When new partner does not bring goodwill in cash. In prior or at first clue, you were having the goodwill in cash brought by new partner. Here he is not bringing the goodwill in cash. There he was bringing the goodwill in cash. Here he is not bringing goodwill in cash. This is separate point from that. If the new partner is not bringing the goodwill in cash, then what provision, what accounting treatment we have to make in this concern? That is, the firm will open a current account of the partner in firm's book. Then new partner's current account is opened in the firm's book. Very clear. If the new partner is not bringing the amount of premium for goodwill in cash, then the firm will open a new account in its book. That will be new partner's current account. And after that, the new partner's only one entry will be passed in this concern for premium for goodwill. Only one entry, not two or three as you have got earlier. Only one entry will be passed in connection of treatment of premium for goodwill. That will be old partners, new partners current account will be debited, and old partners capital account will be credited in their sacrificing ratio because the amount belongs to premium for goodwill and that must be divided, that must be allocated or distributed among the old partners in their not old ratio, not new ratio, but in sacrificing ratio as you have drawn earlier in the first topic. You have to find the sacrificing ratio and decide their share, and this entry you will cause in the book of the firm, new partners current account debit to old partners capital or current account. That will be the sole description of accounting treatment of premium for goodwill brought in cash or not brought in cash by new partner for their sacrifices, the old partner sacrifices. That's all. This is the sole accounting treatment of premium for goodwill. Now coming to the next topic, treatment of goodwill. Yes, goodwill is shown in balance sheet in asset side. You have got the clue in class 11 very clearly when you have been introduced with the format of balance sheet. The goodwill was shown in asset side of balance sheet. You must be very clear. Any loss that has not been compensated or capital losses must be shown, if they are accumulated, must be shown in asset side of the balance sheet, and accumulated profits and results are being shown in liability side of balance sheet. It is very well known thing for you, I know. So goodwill, yes, it is in category of asset, but it has no physical existence, you know very well. It is an intangible asset. If it is not having any physical existence, so how can it be exchanged for? If yes, it is valued at the time of sale of the business, but if sale of the business is not in process, and any change is going to happen, that means, as you know very well, that the chapter belongs to reconstitution of partnership firm. Admission of a new partner is the reason for reconstitution of the partnership firm. The partnership firm is getting reconstituted and not sold. Then what do you think that goodwill is to be considered? Goodwill cannot be considered as a physical asset which can be sold in market or having physical value in the market. So this will be treated as loss at the time of reconstitution, and it is to be treated as loss towards old partners. I have explained you, if the balance sheet shows amount of goodwill in asset at the time of admission, it is treated as loss and will be distributed among old partners in old ratio, and partners capital account will be debited as old partners capital account debit to goodwill account. It means that old ratio will be in function. We have to, because this will be treated as prior loss or the loss raised in past time. So it is a past, so only old partners are liable to compensate this loss, and that is the reason the old partners capital account will be debited. So students, you must be very much clear that the amount of goodwill shown in balance asset side of balance sheet will be treated as loss belongs to past and it is charged from the capital or current account of the old partners, and the entry will be in the concern old partners capital account debit to goodwill account. That's all for today. Next time we will have another topic. Thank you. Now coming to the next topic, it is revaluation of asset and liabilities in the chapter. Revaluation of assets and liabilities. You have been introduced with the term in second chapter, in third chapter, change in profit sharing ratio. The format of revaluation account you have got there only. The revaluation of assets and liabilities is due for what? Because the very clear clue in this concern is because the firm is going to be reconstituted and a new firm in place of old firm will take place. If new firm is going to get into existence, then the assets and liabilities must be shown at present market price. So the revaluation must be there of assets and liabilities. For this purpose, in accounting treatment, we prepare an account, a nominal account, which is called revaluation account, and you have been explained this account in third chapter, but again I am clearing the facts. It is a nominal account having T-shape, debit and credit side, particulars amount, you have the format in which items are to be debited and which items are to be credited. That should be explained. Debit any increase in the value of liabilities and any decrease in the value of assets. These two things you have to remember. They should be debited in this account, and which two things are to be credited? Credit any decrease in the value of liabilities and increase in the value of any asset. In this way, you will compare the given value in the book from the adjustment given after the question, and you have to make the entries like that. For any increase in the value of liability, revaluation account should be debited. Revaluation account should be debited to sundry liabilities account, and for decrease in asset you have to debit revaluation account. Increase in liability, I am clearing it. Valuation account debit for decrease in value of asset. sundry assets, whatever assets account decrease. This will denote decrease in the value of asset and second, for decreasing the value of asset, revaluation account will be created. Sundry liabilities account debit to revaluation account for decrease in liability and sundry assets account debit to revaluation account for increase in asset. This is practical. I am telling you about the journal entries. Then, when these entries are made in the account, it is a nominal account having decrease or increase in the value of assets and liabilities. Students, then we will find out the balance of this account. If there is a debit balance, how will you say the balance is debit? If the debit side is, the total of debit side is greater than the total of credit side, then it will be debit balance. And if credit side, total of the amount column of credit side is greater than debit side, then it will be credit balance. Debit balance will denote loss and credit balance will denote you profit. If there is credit balance, suppose there is credit balance for credit balance in this account, we will make entry revaluation account debit to old partners capital account, and for credit balance, for debit balance in revaluation account, we will pass entry old partners capital. This will be loss. This is profit and this will be loss. Old partners capital account debit to revaluation account. This will be loss only and loss will be divided. These two will be distributed in old ratio. I think you have got the clear explanation of revaluation account of assets and liabilities. Thank you.